Some of the broader political issues we often discuss on the show are the anti-intellectualist movement of the American right, false equivalency often used by the right, religious right, bigotry, and one sort of lens through which we've discussed this issue is related to the LGBT community. And on American Family Association Radio, of course, the AFA, a designated hate group, by the Southern Poverty Law Center, Bryan Fischer, who's been on the show a bunch of times, said that officials who refuse to accept, for example, marriage equality or transgender rights with regard to going into the bathroom that corresponds with your gender identity, they will one day be seen as heroes, much like Harriet Tubman, who is going to replace Andrew Jackson on the front of the $20 bill. And I'm just going to play a little bit of this for you. This is Bryan Fischer responding to the news about Harriet Tubman and the $20 bill. And he says, hey, we have heroes in this country, like those who are anti-trans bigots and don't like the bathroom bills that are being passed. Take a listen.
You know, what's interesting about Harriet Tubman, a couple of things about her that are interesting to me. She carried a small pistol with her on rescue missions. When she was leading, she led about 300 slaves to freedom, breaking the law all the while she was doing it. She was breaking the law all the while she was doing it, and she is a hero because she obeyed a higher law. A law that reduced human beings to slavery is an unjust law. She refused to accept it, and she is now an American hero. I'm suggesting the same thing for whichever state, and she's not even an elected official. So this is just outright anarchy and disobedience and rebellion. But because everybody recognizes that morally her cause was right, she's a hero. She's going to be on our currency, whether that's a good idea or not. She's going to be on our currency. And I'm suggesting the same thing when it comes to this, the homosexual agenda. The American hero is going to be the first governor or the first elected official. You think about what's going on in Virginia with these schools being told they have to allow men, boys, in girls' bathrooms. This is a horrible idea. You got young juvenile males, got hormones surging through their bodies. You're going to give them access to girls' shower rooms and locker rooms and bathrooms. I mean, that's about the stupidest idea, the most insane idea, the most dangerous idea I've ever heard. But how many schools are going to go along with it just because a federal judge says they have to? No, the heroes are going to be those elected officials, those school board officials, those principals that say, no, that's not going to happen.
The argument Bryan Fischer is making is the cause that Harriet Tubman was furthering by breaking the law to carry a gun is the same as anti-trans politicians and elected officials banning people from using the bathroom that corresponds to their gender identity. Even though there's a law being broken, Harriet Tubman carrying a gun, or the anti-trans officials ignoring law on bathroom policy, that there is some bigger cause that is worth it or justifies the law breaking. This is, there's a completely legitimate moral dilemma here, right? Do you steal bread to feed your family? Do you put aside the smaller good for the bigger good or principle? The problem is this example is completely bogus. The main difference between homophobes and Harriet Tubman is that the homophobic anti-trans cause is morally wrong, and history will clearly vindicate that. The homophobes are like the slave owners, not the abolitionists. And this fits into so much of one of the narratives, of many of the narratives that we've been following on the show.
Yeah, slavery not being part of society anymore was kind of the logical direction. It was the clear direction we were headed in.
Right.
Especially when you look at other countries around the world at that time, that's the direction we were headed in. And he makes it sound like we're regressing in this department. He makes it sound like in 20 or 30 years.
Right. It'll be abundantly clear to everyone. Trans is bad. Keep them,
gay people will have no rights.
Right.
Trans people will have no rights. Does he not see what's happening? Does he have no grasp of reality here?
It seems that way. He's using a mechanism called anchoring, which can work in a number of ways. And in this case, he's trying to anchor what he sees as the moral good of homophobia to that of freeing slaves. And he's done it before. Fisher has previously said there should be an underground railroad to deliver innocent children from same-sex households. So this is a common method: anchoring, projection, false equivalency, wrong choice. There's so many fallacious arguments being made here. It's good to be able to identify them.